Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited because today we have a brand new guest or guests on the show with us today. First time. So, we're going to learn some new stuff, hear new stuff, have a healing as well, and God knows what else, right? We will see. So today we have on the show Laurie Reyon Anderson and Master Cat Puddah on the show with us. So it's like, I don't even know where we're going to get started, but for those of you who do not know Laurie Reyon or Master Cat Puddah, on the live page there's a big, huge, long bio, but Laurie is an internationally known interspecies communicator and soul healer, and her gifts allow her to speak to the animals and the angels and translate their messages to humanity. And she works a lot with the whales and dolphins, and does all sorts of retreats, and there's a new omnidimensional school opening up soon.
It's called the Whale and Dolphin Energy Light Medicine School. Second
Awesome.
year. Yeah.
So there's a lot, and so working with the dolphin energy, the whale energy, working with the Andara crystals, like we just talked about, working with Master Cat Puddah, or they work together. I don't even know where we're going to get started, but I have to say that when Laurie, when you had sent in your free gift, I had listened to it myself, right, the meditation, and then I had recommended it to my healing group as well, saying it's a really good healing meditation. Try it out. It's on the gifts page. Go try it out. It's so wonderful. I just absolutely loved it. So I'm so glad that you're here with us today to talk about communication and healing with the whales and dolphins, because they are so powerful. There's so much wisdom, and ancient wisdom, right? Really ancient wisdom.
Absolutely. They are the ancients.
And and it's not just like on this planet, but they're galactic, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So there's so much to talk about. So I'm excited, and we will take some live questions as well. So for those of you who are watching now, listening now, you can always raise your hand, or you can type in the chat, or if you're feeling really brave, you can just come on. So we'll see as we go through when the time will be to ask questions. But I just want to get started first with talking with Laurie and Master Cat Puddah about how they started on this journey, and how they got involved with connecting with the dolphins, connecting with the whales, and the galactics at the same time. And how has their journey transformed into what it is now?
Well, where to begin? This is the third female incarnation of Master Cat Puddah. Before that was a male incarnation named Puddah, and I had one of those amazing near-death experiences in 1994, and I was able to connect with the soul of this being when I was on the other side, and to see the light of the being. The physical cat Puddah that was there at the time, I had many cats, and I went to vet school. I was surrounded by animals all my life. I was very much involved with horses in my earlier years. I traveled actually even as a trick rider with my horse, who was just a sweetheart, And so I had this link with animals my whole life, but as I became an adult, I'd shut that down. So I was in my 30s when I had the near-death experience, and came back and had, of course, a different view of what I'd seen and what I'd experienced. And the light of this soul that I call Seth now, that is Master Cat Puddah, was the brightest light I'd ever seen. It was the most love I'd ever experienced. And so when I came back, I was just, I guess I would say, fully telepathic with the soul. And I almost bled to death. So I had a lot of blood transfusions, and I was in bed, I don't know, off and on with different diseases because of my immune system being shut down for about 3 years. So that's a long time. So I holed up in this little house in Baja, and the dolphins started to come to my house, and the voice of Puddah, who became Puddah later, reincarnated, all that cat wanted to do was talk about creating heaven on earth, and about the love of God has for us, and the love of the earth, and reminded me to connect to the elementals. And I was, again, a child that wanted to be outside riding horses, playing with animals, but I didn't know about the elementals. I didn't know about Mother Gaia. And so I was being taught this wisdom really by the cat, and realizing that, of course, the cat was not a normal cat in any way. Yeah. So then there were a couple more hints. Then, as I got better and I, progressed back towards creating some sort of human life again, as far as just, laying in bed, I went to an animal communication class with Amelia Kincaid. Some of you may know her. She wrote the book Straight from the Horse's Mouth, How to Talk to Animals. And she wrote another book where she published our story. But anyway, she held the picture, as an animal communicator, you bring your pictures of your animals. And she said in that reading to me that she'd always wanted to meet a cat that wasn't really a cat, that the cats had told her that there were great master beings on the planet that were masquerading in a cat body, and they were here to teach and to heal us, and that people would come along that would be telepathic, and they would translate these messages that would be, healing and very safe. So that's what happened. She held the picture of Puddah, and she said, "This is an ancient of the ancients. This is a healer of the healers. And this cat is, not really a cat, and is going to come back, loves you so much, and will be born again on the same birthday, March 3rd, isn't it?" And I went, "How did she know?" And she said, "Well, I'm just talking to the cat,
Mm-hmm.
And so then I had revisited in my mind the near-death experience, because I had been raised a Christian. I didn't have the teachings of reincarnation. And I don't mean any disrespect to any religion. That's not it's not my way. But I opened up to that memory of being shown many lives, many masters, when I had the near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened up to this possibility. And so then I started looking for pregnant cats. That was in October of 94. And then Puddah reincarnated on March 3rd the following year. It was only a few months away. So it was kind of a crazy time for me. But and when she came back, she looked exactly the same, except it was a female body. And I actually went back to see Amelia a few months after that first initial reading, where she said, this great master being is coming back and had chosen me. And I said, I can't stand it. I need to know more. I can't wait till March 3rd. Tell me more. And she said, the cat's going to be born in the Garden of Eden. And I went, I don't know where that is. I have no idea where the Garden of Eden. She said, you're going to find it. And sure enough, my friend, who was a writer, was doing a retreat down in Baja, and some of you have been down there. It's called La Mission, Power Valley. And there's this beautiful botanical garden. It's like 40 acres, and it's called Eve's Jardin, Eve's Garden. And she was there doing a writer's retreat, and she heard the cat outside, the mother cat, making noises and so forth outside. And she went out, and it was raining, and a feral cat was having kittens, and she brought the kittens inside, and she called me. She said, it might be the one, you better come down. So I was down there the next day, and she looked exactly the same, and she had 3 brothers and sisters, and she had light around her. It was the beginning. I took that cat to my house and raised all the kittens until they were a certain age, and I kept, of course, Puddah and her brother. And it was the beginning of my truly spiritual awakening. It was an initiatory period of time where the cat and I were fully telepathic, and she said her name was Puddah, which you can read in our bio what that means. It's amazing. And then the real work began. I was already communicating with the dolphins, but not really completely understanding it. But I was doing it for fun, mainly. That Puddah in his male body had sort of taught me that. He said, you're going to talk to lots of animals. That's your path. And I went, I just want to talk to you. And he said, no. That's you're going to be an animal communicator. You're going to be talking to lots of animals, helping lots of people. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think just talking to you is enough. I was really overwhelmed by the whole thing. So, but of course, that's what happened. And so I followed that path. And that Puddah, again, was very much initiatory. Light beings started coming. I was on the beaches in Mexico where that's totally possible. Here in the city, we can summon them, but it's not quite the same. Black helicopters come, and I mean, there's, it's a little bit different story. And I could go sit on the beach here in Oceanside, where I live in San Diego, and they would come, but a lot of people would see them, and you're interacting with other people's free will when you do that kind of work. So it's much nicer if you can go to a place in the desert or out, on a beach in Mexico, and you can have that experience.
Right.
Where you can connect with your star family, which now I realize is a huge part of the teachings of Master Cat Puddah. So part of her path is to get us to connect to our star lineage and remember who we really are, because no one's really from Earth. It's time to remember.
And so, Master Cat Puddah was the one who wanted to be on video.
Yes, we were going to do audio, and I just got back from a month in Maui. I haven't even unpacked, and I'm like, I'm all, so much to do, and I had a mastermind class yesterday, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. She said, "Why don't you want to do the video?" And I said, "Oh, well, do you want to do the video?" She said, "People should see me. They should see you too, but they definitely should see me."
Because we were originally going to do audio, because I've been having internet issues this week, and I thought it was going to be fixed by today, but it was not. So tomorrow morning. But when Master Cat Puddah said, "Why don't we do video?" I thought, okay, sure. If all right, let's see how it goes.
Pretty much on the camera. But for those that don't know, a few years back, 3 years back, we made a movie, and she's the star of the movie, of course. Most of the script was written by her, and also the Dolphins and Whales, called Ascension Guidance: Living in Your Sacred Heart. And that's available to all of you. It's a free gift that we have on our website in digital form now. You can purchase it as a DVD, but digitally you get to have it for free. It's our best work, really. It's a step-by-step how to raise your vibration. Starts with simple meditation and ends up with whale healing. So going into it's a primer.
So today, people are. I know Linda's already asking if she can ask a question about her dog Tippy. So are we going to take questions about that, or are we going to take questions about communication with the whales and dolphins, or?
Yeah, well, it's not that I don't want to take questions. I just feel like we should share some information first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some beautiful channeling I'd like to share, and then I think the whole group might interact well with the process to meet the dolphins and whales etherically. I think that, I always try to make our presentations more for the group, and then if there's time at the end, we can do some questions. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, kind of like to offer something. So I reached the communication with the whales in 2008. It was an energy that I had not connected with. At that time in my life, I still was very plagued, challenged by seasickness, motion sickness. I was born with that. Car sick, plane sick, boat sick. We're not talking a little, we're talking really severe. And so different people, particularly, I'll mention Grandma Chandra. She's one of the prophets that have helped me a lot, and as I became telepathic, I became one of her voices, because she's in a disabled body and she speaks only telepathically. And she came to my healing center, I think it was when we first opened it. Trying to remember what year that was. Yeah, I think that was 2006. And she said 2007, and she said, when are you going to do your real mission? And I said, I am doing my real mission. I was doing whale healing workshops and talking to the Pleiadians and working with Puddah. And she said, no, your mission is to be on the boats, to get the people out on the water to meet the dolphins and whales and to translate their messages for humanity. I said, well, that's just great, but I've tried that since I was young, and I get sick and I throw up, it's not pretty. And she said, so heal it. What's your problem? Heal it. So you can do your mission, And she said, here's the deal. I'll come back in a few months, we'll set a date and we'll do a boat trip, and if you don't heal it yourself and you get sick on the boat, I'll do the messages. Okay? I'll be your backup plan. In the meantime, you heal it, because this is what you're really supposed to be doing. So it was a scary time for me, but I did work with, a different level, I guess, of healing because of my intention. Through intention, we can do anything. Everybody knows that, right? It's just a matter of getting powered up to really do it and not be afraid of that which has plagued you. So what Master Puddah said to everybody is that, behind your greatest fears are your greatest gifts. And that was a perfect example of that for me. So, but you got to ante up, and you need help. This is why we do the whale healing and the dolphin and whale energy healing. The whales came to me as soon as I started to channel them, and they told me that they were the ancients, that they've been here for some 300 million years, and that they were the molecular librarians of the earth, and they could heal us very quickly if we align our intention with them. They can't do it without your permission, of course. To bring in that energy, that matrix. And so I've been doing that for literally 17 years now, 14 years professionally. And last year, 2 years ago, I hunkered down and wrote the manuals that I use now for the Energy Light Medicine School. So they wanted me to structure it to help train other people to become practitioners in this art. So that's what I did. And we're just actually starting our second year of that on April 7th, if you're interested. The people that took the class last year, it's 30 hours of training with Module 1, which is dolphin and whale healing and clearing, and then learning about light body activations. The second module is 30 hours of training also, but it's with dolphins, and we're learning about dolphin DNA calibration. So with all of that in mind, yeah, share a message. So if everyone would go into your heart, just, you can close your eyes or you can feel into it. Is that all right, Laura?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the whales and bring forth a message, and then I'm going to move into the dolphin energy, and then I think we'll do a little process that everybody will enjoy. Okay? This is from the whales. The universe is one living, breathing, conscious being, demonstrating interconnectedness and oneness. The incarnated whales are an example of the all-loving, all-knowing consciousness that came to planet Earth to be a steward for Gaia and for humanity. As a species, the whales and dolphins are the most spiritually and intellectually evolved souls in our world, and they anchor the light beam to Earth from distant sources. Using their light body, or their Merkaba, they also align with the frequency and the resonance of Gaia, or Mother Earth. The whales have held the highest incarnated vibration on the planet for eons, and also hold the resonance or frequency that is the heartbeat for Gaia. We would not have survived these many years if the whales had not chosen to use their vibration to balance and steady our beautiful planet. The end of polarity or duality is nearing. The responsibilities the whales have held for humanity is now being shared with many humans as we awaken to our true selves and choose to take our power as children of Creator Source. We are reclaiming the true dreaming state of the living heart. This is true creatorship. What this means is that through exercising intentional evolution, we are entering into a time when thoughts will manifest very quickly into our dimensional realities. Because many of us have chosen to awaken to the truth of our soul's journey and become conscious creators, we are now able to connect with the super sentient ancient cetaceans that we call the whales. They are the ancients and the elders of this world and are the greatest healers we will know throughout our many journeys and lifetimes upon this planet we call Earth. The whales ask you to call upon them often to realign your auric fields and your organ systems. The whales ask you to call upon them to use the words ask and you will receive. It is their honor to assist us as they come in joy and in a state of bliss that can best be described as living in oneness with all. So let's take a breath and just really embrace that energy. All of the whales are here to help humanity, but specifically it's the humpback whales that have the actual mission, I guess you would say, to work with humanity's vibration. The dolphins are also whales. They're toothed whales. And they are the smaller cetaceans, of course, as you know. And they are able to work with us on a more personalized basis and actually work with our DNA. So this is a message that they gave me. They have shared with me that they are the designated keepers of the human DNA template system. The dolphins receive infusions of DNA activations through the Earth's ocean systems from Creator. It is their given task to process this information internally and calibrate the actual DNA that is perfect and right for each person. The dolphins also hold the energy of love and joy for actual locations on the planet that are experiencing war and chaos. They work to create frequencies that are infused into these areas on the planet with templates of peace and harmony and healing. The dolphin matrix supports DNA reencodements for people and places throughout the template of the human DNA system. They consider themselves the family of light, and they work with the pure holographic possibility for humanity and for Earth. So if you choose right now to connect with the planetary dolphin family, you can receive these attunements energetically directly from the dolphin group consciousness. So open your mind now and your heart as you connect to the dolphin frequency. They're able to shift these old energies within you very quickly if you'll allow for it. They work in a frequency of just perfect joy and playfulness that is perfectly suited to the energy of ascension and the new Earth. This is from the dolphins. Beloved humans, please listen to your hearts as the energies accelerate during 2012 and beyond. Call upon us, as we are the chosen emissaries of light. Our communications will be of valuable assistance to you in helping you align with the crystalline grid system, your personal DNA upgrades, and the dolphin matrix systems that are assisting in creating the center for the new Earth. Also know that the dolphin matrix of energy is assisting with the cleansing and the balancing of Earth's oceans. Currently, there are many scientific experts on the planet saying that DNA plays a powerful role in newly discovered communication between dolphins and humans. There's an ongoing study at the Sirius Institute in Hawaii that has first revealed that dolphins and whales receive and transmit sound signals capable of affecting the genetic double helix in humans. So using natural biotechnology, dolphins can actually heal humans swimming near them sonogenetically. Now, in our studies, we found out that we can summon them energetically, and just, pardon me, the healings are just as powerful. The new research shows that our DNA is affected by waves and particles of energized sound and light that literally switch your genes on or off. Likewise, genetic inheritance is energetically transmitted bioacoustically and electromagnetically through special water molecules that form the electrogenetic matrix of DNA. So as an example, if I was to give you a DNA tune-up, we would call in the dolphins that are destined for you, but you would have your feet in water. If you were, is it warm, we'd have your whole body in the swimming pool. Okay, so the water molecules are really what they use to make this happen. And these hydroelectric structures, if you study sacred geometry, are shaped like pyramids, hexagons, and pentagons. And those sacred geometric forms direct the healing processes that the dolphins bring in. The cetaceans have had complex language for millions of years, and they do have the largest brains on the planet. Visitations by dolphins and whales have demonstrated a history over our entire life of friendship and cooperation and partnership with humanity. They have shown us that they are the ancient and wise supersentient beings on this planet. They are living examples for we humans, showing us how to live in peace and in harmony with our planet and with each other. So we encourage you now to connect with the dolphins and the whales each day. You can do so energetically, you can do it telepathically, you can do it by connecting with them in the physical oceans, and you can do it by playing their sounds, just listening to their song. They are the living ultimate expression of how we humans can begin to live once more in our hearts, within the pod mind, which is demonstrated by living for the good of the many, not the one. So let's move into that energy. I'm going to see if you guys can hear some dolphin sounds here. Speaker on. And we'll do a little process. So Master Cat Puddah is going to bring in one of her aspects, which is the golden dolphin. And as you close your eyes now and you connect to your heart, you can visualize that golden dolphin now coming into the room with you. And feel the energy now of a portal being opened, connecting to your higher self. Visualize a portal of water being opened right around where your feet are. This is totally, completely possible if you'll allow for it. You are a water-based being, and water is life. So we're going to allow a part of ourselves, a part of our higher self now, to slip down into this portal of water. And as you do, you move into this warm, saline water, somewhere tropical. And as you get your bearings and you look around, you're going to see 3 dolphins coming to you. And these 3 dolphins are your spirit dolphins. They love you so much. They're actually saying they can be with you all the time if you choose it when you come back. But in the meantime, enjoy the frequency as they are making their beautiful song, as they swim around you. They're taking you deeper into your own sacred heart and attuning you to that inner child, the innocent child. Move into the energy now of passion, of discovery, and allow them to tickle your curiosity. Everyone wants more fun time, more playtime. So open up a little dialogue with them now if you can. You might ask them their names. Don't be surprised if they appear in different colors to you. These are spirit dolphins. And trust the intuitive information that comes to you. Take a moment now so everyone can connect to their 3 beautiful dolphin guides. These are wonderful ambassadors of love and joy, bringing out that best part of you, the emotional state of great happiness, family, and purpose. The dolphins are saying to go deeper within, to find that special place in your heart where you absolutely know the divinity within yourself. And that you know your physical body is just an expression of that part of you, that higher part of you, that is source consciousness. Our golden dolphin friend here, who is an aspect of Master Cat Puddah, says, you are a biological unit of light, and you are a holy ambassador of love in human form. Don't try so hard to get it right. Simply allow for yourself to find that softness, that incoming light within you, and allow this beautiful energy that is uniquely you to transform yourself outside of polarity. You see, within the heart is just love, just solution energy. We can do that simultaneously, even when we're in 3D. Our golden dolphin friends says, I see you as a being, such as myself, who originally answered the call to serve here on Earth. There's an energy now of movement, so turn your energy on getting to the west, and you're going to see one of the great, great master whales coming towards you now. One of the great humpback whale masters. Allow yourself to have this experience as the whale comes towards you. This great master whale, Vendakata, would like to give you all a message. Beloved humans, the whales represent your elders. We are the molecular librarians of Earth's history. We embody conscious creation, and we have the experience and the intention to assist you with core level healing. It is our intention to assist humanity in claiming their mastery and restoring your physical forms to radiant health. As you awaken your dormant DNA, you will naturally evolve into awakened geniuses. You will then live and create from your hearts in communities across the globe where you change the outdated and broken structures of medicine, education, government, and sustainable living. I invite you to connect with us now. I am a representation of the Great Whale Kingdom and the Great Whale Councils. If you choose to connect with us, we will accelerate your intention to evolve. Please know we are solution energy. I am Vendakata, and I am one of the great white whales who represent the cetacean nations. I thank you for your attention and your time, and know that I am with you as you choose to accept my presence. Now feel your beautiful dolphin spirit guides swimming around you. You're moving into a spiral now of energy as the water raises you up. We're coming back up to the surface, back up through the portal into your own home now, where you can reintegrate your energy and this great wisdom into your physical body, allowing it to integrate into the molecular structure and seep into your bloodstream, moving into the organ systems and even into the bones, feeling loved and supported after meeting an old friend. And know that your 3 spirit dolphins now, your guides, can stay with you and be with you every day, helping you raise your vibration and stay happy, joyful, and connected to the pod mind, not only of your own family, but beyond to all of humanity. The dolphins say as you come back, say yes to love. Love yourself first and know that that is not ego. You must love yourself to fill your cup with source energy every day in order to have something to pour out to your friends and family. Love is the only energy that is real, and it is transformative. Remember, my beloved human friends, we are simply becoming that which we already are. We are dedicated to the awakening of humanity. We are divine intervention, and we love you so. Our prayer is that by connecting with us, we choose to upgrade your DNA and help you actualize your greatest potential. We pray that humanity each day now awakens to become a more powerful conscious creator, assisting in creating heaven right here on earth. We are the dolphins. Namaste. So everybody slowly kind of wiggle your fingers and toes and come back, open your eyes. Let's give a big hug and shout out to the dolphins and whales for their wonderful wisdom and healing.
Yes, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. That was just so transformative, just knowing that they're there with us all the time and that we can just having, I used to call on the dolphins, before, and I don't know when I stopped or why. And it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to go back and reconnect with them. And, that was
another thing to know is that the humpback whales that I spoke of, and the one that spoke to you, Vendicata, is one of the great white humpback whales. Their whole energy field is the violet flame. When you're out on a boat and you look at whales in the ocean, the whole ocean turns purple around them. They carry the violet flame, which is instant transformation of lower negative energies of parasites and so forth. And I'm not saying that that's something everybody needs to know, but everybody does need to know about the violet flame. A lot of people believe that it comes from humans like Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel, and they're absolutely carriers of it. They're stewards for it, but they don't embody it in the same way. All of humans still have some karma to resolve. We had a conversation yesterday in the mastermind class about if you ascend as a human and then you come back, you start over. Yeah, in a sense you do. And so you still need the violet flame because you're here back in amnesia. You put yourself to sleep on purpose so you can have the earth experience. But yes, you carry that in your DNA. So the more knowledge and wisdom and experience we have of the violet flame, however you get it, the easier it is to heal. And this is how they can do it. Mm-hmm. And another thing to know is that it's a recent information for me, is that the whales and the dolphins carry the same, not exactly the same, but very similar DNA that humans have. It's at the quantum level where we're actually cousins. So it's one of the ways they're able to alter our structure, our physical structure so quickly. Like Master Cat Puddah would say, I can help heal people. She lays right up on people's bodies when we do the whale healing. And of course, she has her own way, her own signature of helping other people. But the truth is, she's moving their stem cells like a laser, like a focus. We have a friend, some of you may know him, Dr. Todd Ovakaitis, who works with Cryon. And he's sort of been studying her. He said that, that she's literally, when she lays on someone, lays on their leg or their heart or their arm, she's bringing stem cells to that part of the body. But she's not altering your DNA. She cannot do that. She's a cat. It's a different type of genetic form, although very powerful. Also, the signature of the cat or the dog can lower your blood pressure. They can help, regulate your heartbeat. They can't change your DNA. Only the dolphins and whales, and you can do that. So something to think about, huh?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
you think the whales have been here 300 million years, so they were here setting it all up before we came into human form. They actually were humanoid. They walked upright before they moved into the oceans. They have 5 fingers in their pectoral fins, so they're a humanoid being when they're not in the ocean. Just bigger than us.
wow. Yeah, much, much, much bigger. And
Yeah.
you know, just even thinking about the whales and thinking about the dolphins, I find that the whale energy is very, not heavy per se, but it's just very all encompassing.
Yes.
Might be the right word, right?
It might be viewed as heavy because it's really dense.
Yeah.
It's like you're going into well, when Puddah talks about creating the love space, she says it's warm and it's thick. The more love that's created, it's almost like you can put your hand to it, pull it out. That thickness. The whales are in that thickness of love, you know.
Yeah. That's more like it, because you know, normally when people say heavy, it's a negative connotation, right? But it's like, it's just that denseness, and I think a lot of that has to do with, I keep getting like the wisdom of not just this planet, but of the universe, of the masters, of, they just embody so much more than, and have so much more available to them, that if we can tap into their energy and their wisdom, perhaps we can start to create a different reality for ourselves.
Yes. And this again is coming back to why I've taken all my experience and all of my channeling and put it into some kind of structure that other people can do. I'm only one person, you know, and even if I see 4 people a day for an hour and a half, I mean, how much can I really help humanity through whale healing, you know, or I can have groups from time to time. So it's time. The whales have told me that in less than 10 years, the whale healing practitionership, you know, and the dolphin DNA calibration will go around the world and will be in all the medical buildings, right next to the dentists and the acupuncturists, and it's going to be revered as one of the major healing processes in the world. So people just have to remember that. They have to, and so what they've given us are templates, you know, that we can teach to you. And then of course you bring in, every session's different, because as you know, work with the healing, as you become a grounding force for them. You know, you become a grounding force and you become their voice. But they do the healing. It's like you're standing there holding the space for it, but they come in with their living light field or their Merkaba and surround the whole house or the building that you're in.
Right.
And they accelerate this transition of creating light body. And to answer your question, I think, or what the topic is that every human wants to carry more light, but we can't carry more light until we dump the karma, the shadow, the dissonance in ourselves. So when we do, there's a spinning energy. It goes like this, okay? There's the Merkabas, the guys that know it, it spins to the right, spins to the left, clockwise and counterclockwise. So one field of light, when you summon this energy of the whales, comes in and with your permission, clears out negativity and toxins and parasites and old memories that are plaguing you in your emotional body. You know, the same old stuff keeps coming back until we can clear it, and we need help. I mean, let's get real. We could do it alone. We'd have done it by now. So let's bring that out. And it's using the violet flame. The other spin of the Merkaba of the well is God's light. It's a celestial light. And it comes in and immediately fills the cell with God's light as soon as the Merkaba violet flame clears out the old. It happens instantaneously. So you're experiencing a healing and a restoration of light. So at the end of the session, or the end of any time you connect with whales and dolphins, you're going to carry more light than you carried 5 minutes ago. And what is light? Light is wisdom. Light is information. It's connection to the truth of who you are. And isn't it time to wake up? I mean, we came here and put ourselves to sleep to have the earth experience, but we also knew there would come a time when we would awaken and reclaim our true heritage as star beings. So the whales are the leaders in that, because they've been here through the whole thing. And they've seen it all. So they access your Akashic record, which is the journey of your soul over every lifetime. And they do that in just a heartbeat. I mean, they know, like even before this afternoon example, I have a lady coming, and of course most of the stuff is done on the phone, but she's actually coming here. And when she lays down, that whale Merkaba is already down around my house. They already know who she is. They already know what she needs. It's almost like she doesn't even have to ask. She just has to get permission. And the healing begins. That's the power of the whales. So we've seen bones go back in place. We've seen eyesight be restored, tumors go away, lots of emotional clearing, you know, some spines be repaired. And I mean, you look at all of the capability that they have to work with you. And the real question is the person ready for the healing? Because if you're still experiencing a challenge, whether it's a health challenge or an emotional challenge, and it's serving you to bring you to the next level of awareness, because challenges do that, then there's a limit to how much they can help you. But if you're really ready and you've received the lessons of your own karma, you're really ready to come back and live in the heart and say, okay, I'm glad I experienced that. That challenge made me more compassionate. That challenge made me a better human. But now I'm ready to stand in the light, and to radiate light and to not play in the drama anymore, to not give credence to people that are still at war and all that. Because it's respecting the journey of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that makes sense. But when the person is ready, anything is possible. In the meantime, you feel better. Like I think everybody feels better just from our little, taster session there.
Yes, absolutely.
And feel better because they raise you up.
Yeah, it was lovely, and it was powerful, and it went deep. As I'm thinking about it now, it's like I have tears, because it was so deep and it was so touching. It was quite quite powerful. And and that's the thing, is like right now I think in this year 2019 already has been a bit challenging for me personally, but I think for a lot of people it's been challenging because a lot of their stuff is coming up, right, and a lot to be cleared, or to be at least be acknowledged, right?
Bingo.
To be cleared.
It's coming up to be cleared, absolutely, and for no other reason. It is time to release and to surrender and to come together, to know that you have love and support, and that people won't belittle you or make fun of you if you have a challenge. How do we know until we reach out? And I really have to stand behind what Seth or Master Cat Puddah said, which is behind your fears, behind your challenges are your greatest gifts. Really, I think of my motion sickness, and I used to have a fear of public speaking, all kinds of stuff. I used to be a dancer, and I just wanted to dance and move and be with kids. I didn't really want to talk to adults or anything. I moved through that, Now I can't shut up.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, I've had a lot of challenges. Where are those gifts? How do I translate those into gifts? It's like, okay, we will see.
Maybe you'll think about that, and you'll think about something that you had a lot of fear of, or maybe you still do, and you'll go through that. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, you'll be really happy with what comes through. Otherwise, what is the purpose of the fear?
Right.
Because what is fear? Fear is the absence of love, right? It's stepping away from what I call, God consciousness or source light. Mm-hmm. It's stepping away from the truth of who you are, because, every single person, they should not be comparing themselves to another. You should be looking in the mirror saying, where are my gifts? Where are my unique talents? Because they are there. They are there if you haven't seen them yet. They are there. And you are a unique master unto yourself. There's nobody else on the planet like you. And if Master Cat Puddah would tell you, if you don't wake up and realize that and step into your divine potential, you're going to have to send other people to do your mission, and that's not fun. You mm-hmm. want to do it yourself, Yeah, to do what you came here to do.
Yeah.
And it may not be in the manual. Whale healing wasn't in the manual for me. So an example is just you have to follow your passion and your truth, and it could be several things. You think about all the different jobs we've had and the different careers and relationships we have. All little key. There's mastery in all of that. It doesn't have to be something completely new. So it's accessing your potential, which will access then your mastery. So,
and I think right now that's what people are trying to figure out. What are my gifts? What am I here to do? How can I contribute? Right.
Right.
What are my greatest strengths? And then when sometimes they know those things, and then they wonder, okay, so why am I not doing it, right? Why am I not doing my mission? Why am I not doing what is my passion? Why? Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I'm just going to say, in most cases, it's because people come back into the mind,
yes,
and you're not in their heart. So we could talk about that for a minute. Living in the heart means moving the consciousness from the brain, because here in North America, where we live, we've been taught to go to school and to compete and to get good grades and do well at work, and there isn't enough for everyone. It's survival of the fittest, competition. All lies. I'm sorry, every single one is a lie. Mm-hmm. There's always been enough food. There's always been enough blankets. There's always been enough air and water for everyone. It's the distribution of it. It's the people that have the stockpiling kind of. So, we're all here together, and there has always been enough. If we would learn to share freely, then we would learn that that's the way. Like again, the dolphins have evolved to that, where they know they live in the plenty, they live in the wealth of it all, the abundance of it all. And you look at people that do return to the heart, they move all their consciousness out of the mind into the heart, because the brain is polarized. It's set up to help you live in the 3D experience of duality. And the right half will say, you can do it, and the left half will say, no, you can't. You're not worthy. You're stupid. You make too many mistakes. It'll talk you out of the most incredible miracle. Right. So the brain is, Master Cat Puddah calls it the eternal ping pong game. I can do it, I can't do it. I can do it, I can't do it. I can do it, I can't do it. And people will spend their whole lives there sometimes, bouncing that ball back and forth and never really accomplishing anything, because they're confused and they don't feel loved and they don't feel worthy and they don't feel capable. And all of that's a lie. All of that's a lie. If they go into the heart, they drop into the heart. Let's do that now. Okay. So let's take it's part of the meditation too. You take all your consciousness and you arc it out of the back of your head and bring it right into the heart chamber through the shoulder blades. Right between the shoulder blades is the heart chakra. You just pop yourself back into your heart. And it takes practice. It's one of the techniques that the Flower of Life teaches. Drunvalo Melchizedek teaches it. The Tibetans teach it. The whales teach it. It's boom, back in the heart. So in the heart, there is no polarity. Okay, there's no duality. There's no judgment. There's only love. The frequency of love in all of its myriad of forms is in the heart. And so I don't care if you have to do that 100 times in an hour or 1,000 times a day. Just boom, arc back in until you start to realize that that's the frequency, that all of a sudden things are opening up for me. People are being kind to me. I'm saying loving things. Master Puddah says, when you're in your heart, all is love. All of your talk, all of your walk, all of your faxes, all of your emails, all of your conversations, all of your inner talk is love when you're in your heart.
Yeah.
So if you go back in the mind, you have a negative thought. So what do? You realize you had a negative thought and go, no, thank you, and go back in the heart. You rephrase that. So at first it feels like when you're retraining yourself, because I was a pretty negative person back in the day, you have to retrain yourself to not put yourself down. So you boom, back in the heart, boom, back in the heart. It starts to feel a little bit like what somebody would call ego. But there's no accident. I got a cat teacher, and cats totally know who they are. They're here to teach self-love, and they're here to teach freedom. God is free, and they will not stand in line. They won't do it somebody else's way. I mean, the cats are so independent and free. Yeah. You gonna say smiley? See a smiley face? Yeah. So I've had this great teacher, and I know a lot of you that also have cats that have been teaching you. Dogs are amazing teachers too. They teach us to be unconditionally loving, to love everything and everyone all the time, to see the good in everything, because there is good in everything. And if we look for it, it's there. It might look like negativity or a challenge to you, but when you look deeper, you'll see that something's going on there that person's experiencing that's moving them forward. Yeah. So love is the answer. Love is the only frequency that we want to be in. It sounds like a Pollyanna thing. Yeah, why not? Why not have heaven on earth right now? Why not? I mean, anybody want to argue with that?
Nope, let's have it. I was saying to
pretty good thing to have a happy life, and people. I mean, I've worked a long time at it, but people will say you're living the dream, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be in tropical situations, dolphins and whales all over the world. That's what I want to do, and so why not? Go to Bimini, go to Hawaii, go to Tahiti, be here in Southern California where we have more dolphins than anywhere else in the world. I mean, whatever it is that you want, that you feel you desire, you have to stop blocking that. You have to stop standing in your own way. Back in the day, Puddah would say, when I had, still stuff going on, she'd say, you've prayed, you've set your intention, and you send it out to the universe responds and starts to deliver the gifts, and you're standing in the driveway, and the love trucks can't even back up and deliver the gifts. Get out of the driveway. Like we're sometimes in our own way.
Yeah, for sure.
To have the gifts come back to you, because the answer when you pray or you intend for something for yourself is always yes. It may not be not yet, it may not be today, but it's definitely coming. And she says, visualize these nets up in the sky holding all your gifts. Why don't you cut the nets and let them down? But that requires us to feel worthy and feel capable and to be God's instrument, so to speak. Marianne Williamson said, and maybe somebody else too said, is that the only thing we're really afraid of is ourselves. that we're afraid of the light that we would actually carry and the changes we would make in the world. That seems like too big or too grandiose, you know. I think she's right. I think she's right that are you afraid of something is because it might create more light or more responsibility for you, that move you into your mastery where, you know, that's something that, you know, you haven't done yet in this life, so that it might seem scary. I say go for it, you know.
Yeah.
Go for it. What do you think, Laura?
I absolutely. It's like if you have any desire, any wish, go for it. And you know, if your mind comes in the way and says, no, I can't, again, you know, say, okay, why can't I? You know, what would it take for me to do that? You know, and get those old mind patterns that are in your way, just move them out and say, okay, well, what if I could? You know, what would that be like? Right?
Right. And then you take a step towards it because you just said, you ask for the answer and the step-by-step action plan will be given to you. Yeah. The manifestation will be given to you. But you have to be in the heart. That's step one. Step two for me was learning to activate the third eye or the pineal gland, because it can only activate if you're in your heart. If you're in your mind, your pineal gland goes like this. Just shrivels up and you have no communication with spirit. You know, you can't, people say, I can't talk to my guides. That's because you're in your mind. Your guides can't reach you there. And the vibration, I'm sorry, it's too low. Think of a radio, you know, and no disrespect to AM, but we want to be an FM. And your guides and your spirit animals and the dolphins and the whales and the angels and your higher self are all in FM. You got to tune up. You got to tune up. And the only way you can tune up to that frequency where they are is to go into the heart. Okay? If you're in your mind, you're still down playing in the mud, you know. So the frequency then from the heart will naturally go up the prana tube, which is like this big, right? It runs through your whole body. It'll go up through the throat, up to the third eye, and it will start to massage that with light. And you'll start to hear communications. And at that point, don't be afraid. If you start to hear voices, it's a good thing. You really want it. Especially, I mean, if you're in your heart, you're going to hear loving voices, and those are going to be your guides. That's one of the things I do. I'm a telepathic teacher. I help people get in contact with their three master guides. We meet and greet them and find out where they're from and what they're here for. And I don't know. That's a more advanced form of studying telepathy, but it sure makes my life easy because my guides do all my research for me. They'll never make the decisions for you, but they'll do all your research and they'll come back with all this information. And then, so like if I'm planning a class, I say, you know, is May something or other a good day to teach a telepathic class? And I'll give them, you know, a couple hours to come back to me or even more. And they'll come back with the answer about the best possible date to do this or to do that. They can see the overlighting presence of everything. So they'll tell you where butter's on sale, you know, what store to go to. They know.
I would never think to ask something like that.
Well, it's part of the process, though, of becoming, you know, a good communicator again. So why would you want to go look at the newspaper when they have it right there? You know, they can tell you everything. And one of the fun things is this has been many years. My guides will come in, usually Tuesdays, and they'll say, write down your grocery list, you know. And I'm used to it now. I used to balk at it. And I'd say, well, not right now. And they say, no, right now. Anyway, now I do it. And I keep a list. And so they can look at it, and then they put everything on sale the following week. And then they tell me what store to go to. So I never fail. I mean, they put like several things on sale that are on my list. And it's not always the same store. And I ask that. And they say, well, it's you should spread your money around your community. So we don't always want to work with the same store. So kind of cool. Stuff like that happens.
That is cool. You know, it just blows my mind of what is possible, right?
Yeah.
You know, so much more is possible than what we think. You know, we limit ourselves and we limit the possibilities that are actually available to us with our own minds and thinking.
Right. When you think about your team, every single person has three master guides. They're with you 24/7. They never leave you. And then you have this team of beings that are around you that are visiting you, ascended masters, and you know they're on your council. And you have, you know, angels that come in, and there's more of them than there are of you. And they're all talking. Okay, they're all talking and communicating about how to help you.
Right.
So do you want to hear that? Don't you want to tune into that and hear what's really going on with your team? It's sort of like being the CEO of a corporation and never coming to the board meetings. You got to come in and hear what's going on and see what, I mean, this is the kind of support every human has if they want it. And then the animals are talking, how they can help you. So, you know, you got a bunch of folks that really care about you. And they have the answers that you're seeking. So restoring, for humanity to restore their telepathy, when I say restore, because everyone has it. Everyone has a heart, everyone has a third eye, everyone has a team. everyone's from another place that's visiting Earth. Okay, we're all camping here.
Yeah.
So it's really good to turn that communication system back on. It really is. I recommend you all do it.
Awesome, thank you. And it's so funny because my puppy, he's like 9 months old, right? And so he talks a lot to me, right? And so then I'm always like, what are you saying? Because I want to tune in and get what he's saying and like what's going on with you. And other than he always wants to play or he or he wants a treat, it's like what else is going on, right? So I haven't quite made that connection yet, but I'm working on it to see, just so that I can, I don't know, be more for him, than just.
Right. Well, two things. One is he's saying he'll speak to you through your journaling. So if you sit down and put pen to paper and you open up the sacred space, and you really get one-on-one with him, okay? And you say, is this a good time for you? Can we do some, communication? And get a journal and write, say your question out loud, and then write down what comes in through your hand until you open up that third eye. And then you're going to get to know his voice, and he'll start to use your voice at first because you don't know his voice. One of the most questions people ask me, they say, how do you know it's Master Cat Puddah talking to you? And I say, well, how do you know it's your mom on the phone? I mean, it's your mom's voice, right? I mean, you know your mom's voice. And when you're talking to your mom on the phone, you know it's your mom. So I know Puddah's voice. It's like, I don't have to see her physical body even to know it's her voice talking to me. So you want to get to know his voice, and that takes a little time for you to trust that. And you're going to find that animals have accents and they tell jokes, and you're going to trust that. You're going to trust that voice, and then you'll communicate better. And the other thing he's saying is you should start practicing with other people's animals. So come to one of my animal communication classes, and everyone brings pictures of their animals, and we practice with other animals where we have no emotional bond. So we don't care if we get the answers right or wrong, right? Because we're just bouncing back. It's like going to a language class, a skill, and you develop the skill by practicing with other animals. Okay? This is for everybody. Cool.
Sorry, I was just muting myself because my husband was making noise, but now they're gone, so that's all good. Thank you. That was so helpful. I didn't even, was not even expecting that.
I don't want you guys to, you don't have to practice. I just want you to know you can do it.
Yeah.
That's all. You have to practice.
Awesome.
Because you have to talk yourself into it, really. That's what it's about. You'll get through your own.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. It's like getting through our own fears, getting through our own mental chatter, our own.
Getting quiet.
Sorry?
Quiet. Getting quiet in our heart so that they can come in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We live in a very busy world where, a lot of mind chatter gets in the way. Yeah.
You're telling me. I was just going to quickly go back up and see what kind of questions we had here.
Sure.
So Linda was asking if Master Cat Puddah could tell her, or if knows, if her dog Tippy is getting ready to transition.
So I don't know if you can hear me, but you're frozen.
Oh, am I?
I unfroze.
So I didn't hear all of that question.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? No?
You want to say it again, or?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, I was having internet issues, so maybe that's that. Did you hear the part about Linda asking if her dog Tippy is going to transition?
I heard the word Linda and a dog, and then that was it. So, so Tippy is doing what?
She's wondering if Tippy is going to transition soon, or is in the process of transitioning, getting ready to transition.
So the vocal, not able to hear.
Oh, that is so weird.
Oh, there you are again.
She said she wants to know if Linda's dog, Tippy, is ready to transition.
Okay.
She couldn't hear Alora.
Okay, and is she online? Can she show a picture of Tippy?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. So her name is Linda.
Yes.
Okay, and maybe she can show us a picture or tell us a little bit about Tippy. What kind of dog is Tippy? And in the meantime, I'll try to tune in. There's somebody at the bottom of the screen that says Paula. So I don't know if that's the same person or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, with this kind of work, it's helpful for me to have a picture and to have time to meditate, ahead of time. So what we can do is we can ask Puddah, though. I mean, if you were to call me for an animal communication session, I would ask for a picture of your animal at least 3 days before the session, so I could really tune in, really look into their eyes, and then get in contact with their spirit, and then write down what they have to say before I ever speak with you, in that sense. And then it would start to flow. But with this many people online, and I don't have a picture of Tippy, I can try. But I'm going to rely, with that kind of a question, that's an important question, I'm going to rely on what Puddah would say. So
I think it's Paula that has the question, right, Paula? You're unmuted. I mean, you're muted. I'm going to unmute you. Oh, I can't.
So what happened to Linda?
Linda was just reading the question for me because you couldn't hear me.
Oh, Linda. Okay.
Yes, this is Paula, and I've actually got Tippy laying right here. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and I'm just feeling from him that he is ready to make that process, knowing that I'm okay with it.
We can't see him yet. Can you make your phone? Okay, there you go. I think. Let's see.
Yep, there's Tip. Yep, that's Tip.
So you're asking if Tippy is ready to transition to the other side?
Yes.
Puddah's saying not yet. Getting ready, but not yet.
Oh, wonderful. That really made my heart leap. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Tip, for staying. Yes.
Oh, good. Yay.
Got some more stuff to do. More teaching. Wonderful.
All right, let's see what other questions we have. Is there anything I can do about dog hair? Oh my goodness, there's so much dog hair in my apartment now. Never had so much. Just going to go back and see. Just something, So Sunny's asking a question about the whales, I think. She was asking, why do they have conscious breathing and we don't? Is there a reason?
Conscious breathing, yeah. The whales moved into the oceans, as I mentioned earlier. Eons ago, they were upright beings walking the planet, and the Earth was attacked. This is, millions of years ago, by beings that some of you might relate to as draconians. Negative forces that found us. When the Earth was first created and put into this particular location in the Milky Way, in the solar system, it was kind of hidden away with just one sun. And hopefully that no one would find us so we could play out our, experiment, the Earth experiment, which is a story for another day. I mean, if people are interested in talking about that, I'd do that on another show where we kind of go back and talk about what's the real purpose behind the Earth experience. Mm-hmm. Because people believe it's a soul school. And yeah, we would, have our experiences here and we can grow, but everyone that incarnates here is already an older soul. You already have a lot of experience. You're a very trusted soul, or you wouldn't be here doing this work. So, but anyway, the whales then moved. They were going to be evacuated, is what they've told me. And a good reference for this would be the Flower of Life books 1 and 2, if you want to read them. There's some information there. And Gnosis and the Law is another book. It doesn't speak directly to this question, but it speaks around it. So the whales were going to be evacuated because they knew the planet was going to be hurt or destroyed, and they said, "No, we want to try to stay. We want to try to see if we can, get through the blasts that are coming." And they moved into the ocean, and it worked. And they did survive, and they didn't have to go and reseed and reincarnate. And they became, the blowhole is their crown chakra. Mm-hmm. It became their way of breathing, and they became aquatics. So it worked. And as you may know, they're the only beings, dolphins and whales, in the ocean that are conscious breathers, that are this super sentient, evolved beings that breathe. Still, they're mammals, like we are. Mm-hmm. Dolphins actually share the same chakra system that we do. They're only about 30 million years in the future for us. So there will come a day in the future when our brains will be effective. We will develop the sonar, and we will develop all of the skills that they have, and able to be telepathic with everyone on the planet and tuned to the crystalline grid system. It's coming. But they're
coming.
ahead of us, and they've come back in time, literally, to help humanity come back to joy, come back to living in harmony. People say sometimes, what is my mission, or what can I best do? And I tell people, the dolphins tell us to get into the ocean, get into bodies of water, take sea salt baths often to tune up that third eye. And the other thing that will really accelerate the understanding of your mission is to spend time in nature, to get out and put your back up against a tree and go by yourself, sit and be quiet, listen to what the trees have to say to you. Put your feet on the grass, take off your shoes, tune your eyes to the sun, and do some stargazing. When you connect back to nature, nature will teach you. Nature will help you wake up too. Okay.
Awesome.
And then you have to trust what comes in.
Yeah.
I can guarantee if you took a week or even less than that and you sat up against a tree all day long, like the Buddha did, it would come to you. It will come. Okay. You will know.
So I see that.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Every
Who is
time I
it?
talk to my girlfriends on the phone, this is Linda.
Hi, Linda.
They all the cats keep coming right to the phone. And they sit right, they actually paw the phone and they listen to me.
Well, what do you think it is?
I think they're trying to communicate or say hi or something. I don't know.
Right. And they recognize your energy.
Oh. Okay.
So that means that you're kind of family? That should lead you towards, does that feel familiar?
Yeah.
You have some cat energy? Do you know what that means?
No.
It means that you have some 12th dimensional energy. You have some, probably, a lot of Lyran energy and maybe some Sirian energy too. So that's kind of a story for another day to talk about the different worlds of form that seeded the humanity. But the cats are from the Lyran star system. That's where they get these highly evolved bodies. And cats know cats when they, cats like to be around cats. And they're recognizing you. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. What about the whales? Because I went to swim with the whales. That was an amazing experience. I love whales. I swim with the humpbacks.
Yeah, well, like we just said, mostly the show has been dedicated to the whales and how they help us. They help, release you from emotional and physical blocks, and they help activate the crystalline DNA. Our bodies are in transformation right now. We have a water-based body, right? We live on a water-based planet, but
Yep.
that's evolving, right? The water molecule is slowly collapsing and it's turning into a crystalline molecule. So when we say we're creating light body, we're not joking around. You really are creating a light body that will become a crystalline body, and we will eventually, ascend from this water-based planet back into a world of light and geometry. And I'm not saying there won't be water, but we are becoming that crystalline. Look at the crystals on our planet. Everyone knows, right? They store all of the wisdom and the information of the archives. They're also keepers of the Akashic records. So the whales are wanting you to claim what I would call your divine spiritual gifts. They want you to heal yourself. They want you to come back to, more of all of humanity, a super sentient form, and tune your fields. I encourage people that are on this path of advanced consciousness to activate their living Merkaba field. That's something we do too. We teach you that. I studied with Drunvalo, Melchizedek back in the day, and learned all of the Flower of Life teachings. The whales were trying to explain the Merkaba to me, but I didn't get it until I studied with him. And so activating the 17th breath meditation and then learning to activate a permanent Merkaba for you, Linda, would be good, where you actually go into the grid system, the crystalline grid, and you can go back and forth and communicate to that higher part of you. The whales are the keepers of the grids. That's a whole other show too, where we talk about the different grid systems, the magnetic grid, crystalline grid, and the whales swim about 60 miles outside of the crystalline grid. And they're always navigating it, stewarding it, filling it in. So they have a big job.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Linda, for those questions, because that brought forth so much more for us. So thank you.
Yeah. What Buddha's saying is, we should say, I think 5 years ago, NASA put a satellite up around the sun. And that satellite is recording humpback whale songs in space. And they can't figure it out, but it sure validates my work. Whales are multidimensional.
Yeah,
and they're
absolutely.
seeing through the portal, and 19.5 degrees above and below the equator of the sun is the Stargate to the outer galaxy. Whales are going back and forth all the time because that's what they do. So are we, but we're not conscious of it.
Awesome.
They're singing songs of I just came from Hawaii, where the whales go back every year in the northern hemisphere, and they sing. And Puddah says if they don't get to complete their songs, which are lineage songs, they sing the songs of life, then we won't have the same year. That they balance and harmonize the ocean through their songs. So imagine what they can do. Of course, when you come to whale school or you come for a whale healing, the first thing we do is play whale sounds for like 3 or 4 minutes, so that can get into your cells. It's a quantum energy. So healing. We all know about sound healing, right?
Yep.
So, so I don't want to say who has the most powerful sound for healing, but I just did. So
the whales.
Listen to humpback whale sounds, and you're going to feel better.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I go deep. I go so deep when I listen to whale songs. It's so deep. It's so powerful.
Yeah. We put it on a loop in our house, and Puddah will walk out in the living room in the morning, and the first thing she'll say, if I don't have the whales, I put the whales on. She says, I don't hear any whales. I don't want to clean this house by myself.
Awesome. Thank you. So we're going to take a few more questions in just a moment, but I wanted to talk about the special offer that you have for us. And then, we'll go back to the question. So if you're on the live page, you can just click on special offer. And if you're not, you can go to alara.at/show/Laurie Reyon. And so there are 2 packages that we have for the listeners and watchers today, package A and B, which is great because package A is 6 products and 3 workshops, and then package B is everything in package A plus a 1-hour personal session with you. So, which I think is like, after listening to you today and just, experiencing a little bit of the whale connection and the dolphin connection, it's like, oh my goodness, that would be so amazing. So can you talk a little bit about some of the items that are in the package for people who may not know about them?
Sure. Okay, so we have our movie, Ascension Guidance, Living in Your Sacred Heart, again, which is the first film, as far as we know, on the planet that's ever really been, the script was written by Puddah and by the Whales and Dolphins. So it's a step-by-step guide on how to raise your vibration. I want to thank all the people, the 60-some people worked on that film, because they really believe in the work Puddah's doing, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And then it comes with this a CD that goes with it, where the meditations are the full-length meditations. You can't do a movie and do a full-length meditation because people close their eyes, right? They're not watching the movie. So we made both, the CD and the movie together, called Ascension Guidance. The CD Laurie Reyon and Master Cat Puddah Speak is for people who are a little bit more into whale and dolphin consciousness. There's messages from them. There's a conscious time travel to rebirth yourself that belongs to Puddah. It's really powerful. There's Puddah's sacred song to open. If you don't know how to open the directions, it teaches you how to do that. It's really beautiful. It's got and it's got Entering Your Sacred Heart, which is our signature, teaching you how to go into the heart meditation. It's really a great CD. And then this last year I made 2 new CDs. One is called Messages from the Dolphins and Whales. It's got several tracks of channeling. And then the next one is the guided meditations to connect with the dolphins and whales. And those are to be done laying down, where it really takes you down deep for healing. And then I have put in there the Living Merkaba, the 17th breath meditation. And that's for people who, again, are seeking higher consciousness. That one, don't do that until you're ready. Ask your guides if you're ready, because once you do it, it's for life. You can't stop, okay? So it's to take you into the next level where you have a galactic frequency and you have galactic communication. And it's awesome. And it's, I think 3 CDs. Anyway, it's a whole day of me teaching it and activating the third eye at an event that Jennifer McLean produced for me. So that's available. What am I missing? Then there's some classes that were recorded on Zoom. One is an animal communication class. One is, help me, Alara, what are the other ones?
How to channel a being of light.
How to channel a being of light. That was Puddah's class. That was, I think, 3 or 4 weeks of classes.
4 weeks. Mm-hmm.
4 weeks of classes where people, really just took her instruction on how to activate the third eye and channel. And lots of different beings we channel, light beings, angels, animals. It was a wonderful class. I think you'd enjoy it if you're wanting to work with your telepathy.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a workshop on Remember Who You Really Are, Connect to Your Galactic Lineage, which is
another class. That's another class that's the teachings of Seth. If you didn't hear me say, the higher being, the higher self of Puddah is a being called Seth. And Seth has many incarnations and has on the planet for eons. Jane Roberts channeled Seth back in the day, wrote some books on Seth Speaks. That's the soul of Puddah. It's an old being. And so it's her desire, his desire, to help everyone remember who you really are. And it takes you back to the day of the Starseed experiment. The Galactic Council met, and it helps you connect with your original planet that you were at that's about 100,000 years ago. So it's an important primer for people who are ready to reconnect. When you reconnect with your star family, it's almost like, you've lived your whole life without your real family, and they come back and they talk to you, and that's amazing.
Wow, just as you said that, I got chills all over. It's like,
it's so time, you guys. I mean, I went around for years thinking I was Assyrian because the dolphins and whales, right? I thought, and that's where they're from. But I'm not. I'm from Orion, and it took me, classes with her to learn. And then I actually went out on the Hopi land, in Arizona, and went to the Hopi land is the Orion star system set down on Earth, all the little villages and stuff. The Hopis knew, of course, about Orion. So it's just it's a whole new level of study of yourself and of God, really.
Yeah.
To see how so many beings are dedicated to the ascension and what I would say the success of the mission of Earth. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you. I'm just like, it's so fascinating because, it opens up our mind to a little bit more, right? More than what we actually know. So we just have to be open to it, just be open. Just be open to whatever is possible, because there's more. There's so much more that's possible.
She's laughing at us in a good way. She's laughing in my mind. It's like humanity's waking up. And she says, look at cats and how they lay, they meditate, they're lucid dreamers, they lay, looks like they're sleeping all day long. They're doing so many amazing things that we can't even conceive of. We're not sleeping the way that we're sleeping, but ultimate patience. They have the ultimate patience for us to wake up. We're like little toddlers. Same thing with the whales. The whales look at us like little 2-year-olds. So,
well, we are.
we are. We are. We're still hurting our own mother, the planet. So we're waking up, though. Thank God.
Slowly but surely we're getting there. So package B is everything in package A plus a 1-hour personal session with you, and the people can choose from Life Path Soul Session, an Akashic Record session, a Whale and Dolphin energy healing and clearing session, or an animal communication session. Can you talk a little bit about the session and what that's like? Yeah.
Well, a Life Path Soul Session is for people who want information from your guides. So you send me some of your questions, not all of them, but some of them, so I can connect with you and your higher self a few days before the session. And I write down what your guides say, because I can get in contact with them in about 10 minutes, usually 10, 15 minutes. They come in. And so then when the session comes in, I already know who they are. They come in and you can ask them anything. They have wonderful advice for you. That's what kind of the show's been about today, is get in contact with the higher beings that love you because they want to help you. So that's amazing. Akashic Record session is going into the records itself. I trained with Akashic Records Consultants International and became a consultant in 2006 and have been doing the work ever since. Plus, I access the whale energy when I'm in there. The whales, of course, are the Akashic librarians. And you can ask about your soul's journey over all the lifetimes. You can ask anything about. And it's very personalized. But you can't ask about other people. Okay, so that's not, you have a lot of questions about family or friends or relationships. It's not, you don't want that. You want only, it's delving into you, deeper parts of you. Whale healing and clearing is just that. It's a session where we share some wisdom, and then we have you lay down wherever you are, even if we're on the phone or on Zoom, and we do an actual healing session on you. The animal communication is just that. You send me pictures of your animal and some questions, and then we bring in that animal's voice and they get to talk. You can do it with animals that you're living with now, or friends' animals, or you can do it with animals that have transitioned. They're all happy to speak.
Awesome. Perfect. So that is package B is $197 and package A is $97. So for those of you who are interested, you can take a look at that special offer page in more detail at alara.at/show/Laurie Reyon. So KPL, did you have a question for Laurie? Because you're maybe not. Okay. I was just curious. Because she's been unmuted for some reason or whatever. But she does have a question. She says, it feels so good that humanity is awakening. Could barely take it anymore. Saw clear cutting on the way and instantly broke into tears and sent big love. Yeah, slowly but surely we are definitely awakening, and every little step makes a big difference, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that will take the pressure off all of you is the only thing you have to do is work on you. Just by working on you, the coherence of your own heart will ripple out and help others. Even you don't even have to say a word.
Yeah.
If we stop spending so much time judging others or deciding what's right or wrong, you spend your whole life working on you, it'll take up the rest of it, Puddah says. Work on you in the morning. Start in the morning. Work on you. Get in your heart. See how high you can raise your vibrations. How much communication can you hear? What good can you do in the world today? That'll take up the whole day. You don't have to worry about anybody else. Okay? Everybody else, this is the life of empowerment. And you have to cross that rainbow bridge of your own power. Just be getting ready. Okay? Be getting ready. See how high you can go today. How much light can you bring in? And when the ascension does come, you'll be ready. And your friends and neighbors will start to ask questions, just like you guys are, right? And then you can share your wisdom with them, but wait till they ask. I mean, don't go pushing your stuff on everybody else, okay? Let them have their journey. They came to Earth to have their journey, not your journey, their journey.
Exactly.
It may not look like what you think it should look like, but the truth is it's none of your business what anyone else does.
That's true.
You don't have any idea what their soul has designed for them. You don't have any idea at all. Even the ones that are acting out and creating war, that's their right. And I'm not condoning it, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, no judgment. It's their journey.
Mm-hmm.
What
just
if they came
like our journey, however it is, when I started choosing my journey for myself, it completely changed. My whole life completely changed. And it's like, okay, I'm doing what's right for me now instead of what for everybody else. And so, when you start to think about yourself and honor yourself and do what's right for you and follow your heart, things start to change. So Eagle Song Women, Caroline has a question. She says, what about cats who are nasty? Are they evolved?
Cats that are what?
Nasty.
Cats that are nasty? I need to know more. Is the cat an indoor cat?
I think it was just more, it might have been just yes.
Cats get mad if they don't have freedom. I mean, anybody who's keeping any animal inside, no offense, it's abuse. Okay? They need to go outside. They need to touch the earth. How would you like it if someone shut you in the rest of your life? Awful lot of cats are mad about being shut in and not having a chance to climb a tree or to go out and roll in the grass. I don't really think you can blame them, can you?
No.
Okay, so what would make someone keep an animal inside? Fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you something else too. I've had so many people say, well, there's coyotes. And, see, I had this near-death experience I told you about. And I think if you tap into your heart, you can realize what I'm saying is true. No one leaves this planet without a contract. It's their own design. Death is by divine design, okay? On the day that your soul chooses to bring you home and God calls you however you perceive it, that's the day you're going to go. And there's anything or anyone that can get in the way of that. If a cat goes out and
might be me, might be Laurie. One of us has
these, or it's going to a car accident, or it's just going to be they're going to lay down and stop their heart. That would be the ideal way, right? But we try to resuscitate everybody that's trying to leave. We forget that it's a two-way ticket. Everyone that comes here has a ticket home, and when they're going to go home, it's a good day for them. Okay, they've completed their mission. Mm-hmm. So it isn't random. Everyone should really hear this. There are no predators, and there are no victims. There is divine design, and contractual agreements are being made. So there's a dance that's being done by the animals on the planet that eat other animals. There's a little divine dance that goes on. Puddah's 11 now, but when she was, I'm going to say up until about 5 or 6 years old, in all of her bodies, she will go outside. I can still see her when she was young, sitting on a picnic table. And she starts to make this noise like, ah, ah, ah. It sounds like a duck. And birds would fly into her mouth. And she would say, I'm happy to do this for you. And then she would eat the bird. And the bird, what she was doing was saying, who wants to go home today? I'll help you.
Oh, well, wow.
They literally fly into her mouth. And in Puddah 2 days, we lived in a botanical area, and rats and little mice would run up to her, and lizards, and it was their day to go. They needed help. And she would eat them. So, but she always does it with their permission. I mean, she's actually offering her body as a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop and redesign the way we think about death,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow, that's just, And it's so cool. It just gave me like this new awareness, because you're right. We're all fighting death, and we're all trying to keep our loved ones here, and it's like, no, it's when it's their time, they're going to go anyways, right?
Yeah, right. I talked to this cat on the other side. It's a pretty recent story, and it's happened before, where the cat said it was a wimpy coyote. It took him 3 days to eat me. 3 days I had to stand there and wait and wait and wait. And he finally got up the courage to eat me. I tell you, the portal was open, the owl was there, everyone was waiting, and I couldn't get through the portal. No one would take me out. I mean, from that cat's perspective, she was like ready to go now.
Yeah, exactly. So Caroline had another question. Let me see if I can find it, Caroline. She says her name on here is Eagle Song Woman, and she says, I've written 3 songs, and will one of them bring financial abundance?
Will one of them bring financial abundance? Well, in the world of being an intuitive, we never take free will away, because if something was going to bring you abundance, there'd have to be some action steps behind that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we can test the energy of that. Okay, what's the name of the song?
Yeah, so Caroline, can you write it in, the name of the song?
Or just come on?
I think it says Say Something. Say Something is the name of the song.
And I'm getting a big yes, that it's a beautiful song. Yeah. Has a lot of energy, a lot of light behind it. So Master Puddah's coming in her, business voice, and she's saying, so who's going to market it? Well, I mean, that would be the next step on the earth plane, right? Is to find some good marketing. Right?
Yeah. It's not going to get known by itself.
Oh, yeah, we have to do the part that gets it out there,
So she says she already sent it to a marketer producer.
Yay! Good.
Awesome. Good.
Good.
And then keep asking questions and keep following, what you're getting for it.
Yeah. Keep working with your guides. Yeah.
Yeah. So
keep writing songs.
Yeah, keep writing songs. Don't stop.
I make it of a woman in here in Southern California. She's used to sing at Seaside Church here in Encinitas. I did an animal communication class, and she came, and she was playing the piano, and her horse came in. She had a horse, and the horse said, I wrote that song. And I said, that's nice. And said, well, tell her I wrote that song. And I said, oh, okay, your horse is saying you wrote the song. And she said, I was riding my horse when I got this song.
So Caroline has a horse, or her horse has transitioned. And I thought somewhere in there she had written something about Merlin, but I couldn't find the question. But she also said, I wrote a song for my horse also. That would be Merlin. I don't know what the question was about Merlin, but I saw his name in there somewhere.
Nice.
Awesome. So Randy has a question. Randy's raised his hand. Randy, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. I am learning to heal this body. Learning to heal FQAD, which is nerve damage. What I'd like to do is ask if you can bring through a message from my recently departed white husky, who lived with me for 13 years. His name was Zeus. If you could bring through any utterance of a channel.
Do you have his picture, Randy, by chance?
Just imagine a white wolf. I can come up with one, but it'll take me a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when did he transition?
Now around Christmas.
Okay.
Just recently. We were together 13 years, every day.
Good friend.
He met another animal that's been presenting for me is a falcon, which, it's with the mind. Our minds are limited as far as how much we can expand our awareness into that being Horus or Mahat.
Yeah. So Zeus, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zeus.
Yeah. Just feeling this huge energy of support coming in for you, where reach for the stars. You deserve the best. Your dreams, your desires, that which you want, are being supported by not only Zeus but others. There's an energy of you standing stronger and not compromising. Being really firm in your boundaries and your belief and following through. Definitely staying connected to guidance. He's showing me an energy of a partnership. I don't know if that's a marriage or, a good friend or someone that's wanting to support you and that loves you, to open to that. And to open to the things that would, he's saying that we talked about on the show, to new spiritual experiences that expand your consciousness and that change the way you see the world, and to continue to work with the limiting beliefs, anything that would be blocking you. And remember, the animals are the greater master healers on our planet, the greater teachers. So to access that animal energy, both spiritually and physically. So he thinks
the last thing he taught me.
Sorry?
The last thing he taught me was to, as I was walking out to the car with him, even the night I took him to cross over.
Yeah.
The last thing he did was he stopped and he paused and he said, you don't just go and jump in the car. You stop. Once you're outside, you stop and you look around and you take it in.
Right.
With all your senses. And you become present with that, because that's all there is. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
And he literally, the last day, that's what he reminded me of, what he taught me the whole time.
Yeah.
And thank you for helping me today.
Absolutely welcome. He wants you to take really good care of yourself, to really bring in that self-love and the nurturing.
My favorite thing of yours is the Dolphins Love Kids.
Thanks. Yeah, I should talk about that, huh? I have a nonprofit organization called Dolphins Love Kids. The website is dolphinslovekids.org. It's a nonprofit where you can donate $1 to whatever you want. If you donate $49, you actually buy a seat for a child or a teenager to come out on the boat with us out of Dana Point, and that child then gets that experience being tuned up by the dolphins. And I'll tell you, boy, they shift right away. When we get out on the boat, when I get all these kids on the boat, I say to them, did you know you can talk to the dolphins? And most of them say no. And I said, well, you can. And when we come back, when we get off the boat, I'm going to ask you what the dolphins told you, because if you send, I teach them a couple of exercises on how to do that. The kids will say the most amazing things that the dolphins told them, and gives them confidence. So it's a really worthwhile cause, you guys. The dolphins asked me to do it. It's called dolphinslovekids.org, and you are the kind of person who ties, please visit our site and consider donating to our cause. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Randy, for that.
For bringing it up.
Peace. It's really beautiful. And I've seen with autism where if you take a person and lower them into a pool with dolphins, with an invalid crane, and people who just don't come out of it, they come out of it when the dolphin rubs up against their hand like a cat. That you see that consciousness coming through all the overload. It's miraculous. And thanks for being you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I have a story of a little, I think she about 3-year-old girl. That's a couple of years ago. She came out with her 3 sisters and her mom, and her mom said that she had an autistic child. We didn't really know, what that was going to be like. And basically, she was kicking and screaming, angry child. And we got her on the boat. I asked if I could hold her, and I put her in front of me, and she grabbed onto the rail, and thank God the dolphins came right away, right out of the harbor. And she goes, wee, wee, wee. She was looking straight down at them for 2 hours. She never let go of that rail. Dolphins stayed with us and played and jumped. And when we got off that boat, her hands had relaxed, and she wasn't kicking and screaming. She was just like, wee, wee, wee. We went back, and the next thing we do is we give them this coloring sheet to color or to write a card of gratitude to the person that bought their seat for them. And then we send those cards out. So if you donate money, you get a card back from the kid. So it's kind of cool, and a picture of the child.
Nice.
And she colored like a rainbow dolphin. And this is I'm having 3 or 4-year-old little child. And then when she left, her older sister was holding her, and she looked at me and she said, "Thank you for doing this, because I've never seen my sister not screaming and crying. I've never seen my sister happy and coloring. She's never colored, except ink color." Yeah, that's a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
that's the dolphins.
So Linda asked a question about, do they heal autistic children? So we're not going to get into that, because that is a whole big topic. But
it's possible. Yeah, this is going to depend on the child's contract. But I would tell you, many autistic children and people on our planet are not going to change, because they're here to bear witness.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not talking about kicking, screaming, angry ones. I'm talking about ones that are autistic in a, you know, more positive way, more balanced way. They are silent witnesses to the planet, and they're monitoring the vibration of the planet and transmitting it back. Interesting concept, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's their job. So they don't interact with us so much because they have that job to do.
Right. But I guess my feeling was, you know, if a child has autism, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. That
Exactly.
You know, that they have to be healed. You know, so I think they're a gift to the planet. You know, they're coming in that way with that autism for a reason. You know.
Right.
And they're actually more aware than we are, and but maybe we can help them to function, I guess, a little bit more.
Like the little girl I told you about. I mean, she's probably always going to be autistic, but at least she's more balanced now. She let go of the anger, the aggression, maybe in not being able to communicate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we would ask that they would help them find balance and harmony, you know, in being who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Caroline, yes, that is the link. It's dolphinslovekids.com or .org, because the .com will switch to the .org. But so yes, that works. I was just on it. I clicked on it.
We have a boat trip coming up April 20th, and love to have people that know, you know, families in Southern California that would like to come. Please send them our way.
So Caroline just donated. So awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So I don't think there were any, I think there was, hold on one second. I thought there was one more question I was going to take, but I don't know what it was. Sunny had asked something, but I can't find it now. I'm sorry. I'll try, but I don't know. There's something. Because I know we've already gone over, and I know that you also have a client coming in. But Sunny was asking, are you going to be writing a book or something about, and I forget what that was, because it was something we were talking about. But
if I going to write a book, I should be writing lots of books. It wouldn't be hard for me to publish because I have so many stories. But I'm a co-author right now to one of the best-selling books called Dolphins and Whales Forever. You can get it on Amazon, and it tells my story. And the other people in the book are fabulous. They're all dolphin and whale communicators, including Joan Ocean. So that's a book to consider if you want to know more about dolphins and whales.
And a book about the Earth experience that you were talking about. I
should write about that. Yeah. But I did spend a whole year writing the manuals for the Dolphin and Whale Energy Light Medicine School. And if you're interested, go to our site. There's a whole page on that, and it starts April 7th. You can take it from anywhere in the world. It's through webinar, and you don't have to be present for all of the classes because that's not possible in all the time zones and people's lives. So everything's recorded through Zoom and put on a private web page so you can keep up and do your homework. And you got these incredible manuals with dolphin and whale wisdom that part of that will eventually go out to the public. But module 1 is all about dolphin and whale healing and the different templates that the whales have given us to heal. There's 12 templates, including your physical body, your wisdom, how to set up scanning and protection systems for yourself, how to communicate in different levels with verbal communication and nonverbal, accessing your soul contracts and your divine life blueprint, your creativity, where's that, the passion of your soul, your star lineage, the origin of who you are, how to manifest better on Earth, and your personal database, which is your Akashic records and how to access that, and dreams and dream recall. So that's part of it. And then the second module is moving into understanding the 12 strands of DNA and working directly with what we call the ascended dolphins. We'll come in and calibrate the client or the group, and we work again with water and our crystals with that. So it's pretty fabulous.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of information, a lot of wisdom, and something that's necessary or needed right now, as we all seem to be up-leveling, or are being asked to up-level, or we're requiring ourselves to up-level so that we can get through these challenging times.
Yeah, right. Not seen as so challenging,
Yeah, because I think it's going to continue to be intense as we move forward, right? And so with the intensity, what's required is for us to go back to our hearts, like you were talking about, go back to our hearts, continuously go back to our hearts and raise our vibration, right?
Yes, absolutely. Going back to the heart is the answer. It really is. Yeah, just staying in there all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Awesome.
the intensity of the solar codes that are coming to the planet, intensity, you want to acclimate to that. You want to be absorbing it and integrating it. And people that don't, you look around, they're getting fried, with their circuits. So, but it's important that we receive these codes because we're turning back into light. So it's part of the time.
Awesome. So is there any last words of wisdom from Master Cat Puddah? Anything else that she would like to share with us?
Yeah, I think that, we've done a lot of closing messages, but I think right now she'd like to say when her energy combined with the dolphins and whales. So would you give a message? Beloved ones, an extraordinary future awaits you. The whales, the dolphins, and the animals are the great cosmic beings who hold the records for humanity's enlightened past. We come to you in this way, through the heart, to help recode your divine life blueprint and to help you manifest your divine intentions. As each human awakens and reclaims their divine heritage, the world moves one step closer to a new birth and to the ascension. We have all been working behind the scenes for a long time to help you manifest this. Beloved ones, know that you are now called to rise up and join the awakened ones during this most important time on earth. We see you, we recognize you, and we recognize you as a steward for this beautiful planet we call Gaia. Know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are loved and supported beyond your imagination. Call upon us often, and we will be there. You are loved. I am Master Cat Puddah, Seth, and we are the Dolphins and Whales, and we love you so.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you for having us on the show. It's just delightful.
Oh, it's so much fun. I'm so glad we were able to make it happen. It's just absolutely wonderful to reconnect with the whales and the dolphins and know about, their I want to say their majesty and their power and their wisdom and the transformation that's available through working with them. Right? It was like just so beautiful. And there's Master Cat Puddah.
Totally enjoying the energy. There's our girl. Hey, sweetheart. So thank you, Alara, for the work you're doing in the world. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I just find that, talking with people like you who are so connected and doing so much healing work for everyone on the planet and with all of humanity, it is so required. And I'm so grateful that I get a chance to, make this happen a little bit, even with this show. So I'm so grateful to connect with you and to connect with your energy and Master Cat Puddah. I just want to be there and just, stroke her too.
Yeah, she's sweet. Many blessings to all of you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you so much, everyone, for all of your questions and comments and feedback. And if you are interested in Laurie's packages, you can take a look at alara.at/show/Laurie Reyon. Some powerful healings, guided meditations, songs, and information and wisdom in classes. So there's so much there available for you. So thank you. And so until next time, Randy's got the picture of his dog, Zeus.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you, Randy. Just saw it the last second. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I know we went a little bit long and late, but it's so much fun, so much information, and we have to definitely do this again, Laurie. Definitely have to have you back on again.
Love to come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thank you, everyone. Much love and blessings to all. Bye for now.
Bye.